Today I will talk on this issue, resilient infrastructure in Himalayan region, a need or luxury. In the morning, Honorable Vice Governor has mentioned about the landslides which are very close to your institution. This year, we had also seen the effect of climate change, as my previous speakers from Bhutan has mentioned about the climate change. We have seen a lot of impacts of climate change and landslides and prolonged rainy season. Then my previous speaker from Nepal has mentioned in the last two slides who are vulnerable. One, she has shown a building with a heavy concrete material and a one adobe building. Now, who is responsible? Who is vulnerable? The point is, do we need a resilient infrastructure? And if so, is it our necessity or just a luxury? And most of the time, at present, we are feeling it's a luxury, not a necessity. But we are forgotten that it's a need. Why? Since 1905, we had not experienced any earthquake in Himalayan region. No doubt, in Nepal, we had in 1988, 1934, but in the northwest Himalaya, especially Kangra region, and which are close to that, like Shimla, or Delhi, or Chandigarh, we are not getting much aware of the effect of those if something happened at present in 1905 like that earthquake. You can see effect of climate change also have along the coastal regions where you can see the damage because of the cyclones and other atmospheric climate. So the point is who are responsible, as the previous speakers have also mentioned, who are responsible. Climate, these cyclones, they are predictable events. Landslides, they are predictable events. Only earthquake is not unpredictable. Once they are predictable, where is the problem? Capacity building or awareness. When there is a cyclone, always Government of India, there is always intimations, don't go to the coastline up to 200 meters away from the coastline. But people then go into then they got affected. So awareness is because people don't understand the ferocity of the event. When you don't understand the ferocity of the event, so we see, I have a one slide. Can we make it more durable? एक sand house बनाया है. Can we make it more durable? Yes, we can make it more durable. How? Then I'll come. You can see the damage from the 1905 Kangra earthquake. I think most of them have known. And my Nepal friend must be very aware of 2015 earthquake and 2022 earthquake. How much damage has occurred? Now, can this damage be stopped? Yes, this damage can be stopped. How? I'll come one by one. Now you can see this is the Shimla region. Yesterday I was there in Shimla. If any earthquake occur, because Shimla region has not experienced any earthquake in the last 150 years. No doubt there was a 925 Kangra earthquake, but that earthquake has not damaged much in the Shimla region. The reason being, it is underlain by metamorphic rocks where most of the waves get attenuated. Secondly, Shimla region falls under low seismic zones at present because for the last 500 years we have not experienced any moderate earthquake even from the Shimla region except the Korik earthquake which had a magnitude of 6.5. Now the point is, if there is no earthquake, does it mean that in future no earthquake will occur? No, because we are in front of the Himalayan region, a lot of convergence is taking place. So a lot of energy is being accumulated in the Himalayan region. So we don't know where it will get ruptured and it will cause an earthquake. So if then it will cause an earthquake, you can see the scenario of the Shimla region. If you will not even get a single minute to rescue a single people, as she has mentioned, local community has rescued 17,000 people. I don't think even a single people can be rescued from the Shimla region. This highway has been constructed to facilitate the commuters. But we have forget that we should use the scientific method to widen the roads. I am one of the members of the governor's committee in the landslide. But the point is, can we afford such type of widening? No, we cannot afford. Where half of the road is open at a moment, and we don't know when our car is struck by the stones. So what to do? We should use the scientific. You see, we have done a lot of exercise, we have done a lot of expertise available in India, which have been doing on seismic hazard, earthquake hazard, landslide hazard, everything is available. But we have to use now. We have to use in practice that we should stop all this nuisance. This is the one of the example of Bhuj earthquake. Now two buildings are, now most of the houses, they are very close. When we built up the houses, we don't in little space in between. We said कि 1 इंच भी छूट जाएगा तो मेरी जगह कम हो जाएगी. But earthquake doesn't like such of nonsense. He said, keep 3 to 5 meters of space in between the two buildings. Otherwise, when I will come, I'll strike both. That's a ponding effect is known as ponding effect. Then there is a liquefaction potentials. This is the some of the event of 2005 Muzaffarabad earthquake. You can see one of the high-rise building is standing, but other buildings are damaged and rumbles to ground. Why? People thinks, as my Nepal friend has mentioned, heavy structures sustain damage, but adobe building doesn't. Because the high structure is standing on the loose soil, and loose soil, every wave can get amplified on loose soils. So loose soil can't afford to have a multi-story structures. Only hard rock can have a capacity to have a multi-story structures. In a loose soil, you cannot go more than 1 or 2 stories. That's important. And this is the place where multi-story structures, because it was standing on a hard rock, and single-story structures on a hard rock in an epicenter area always cause a maximum damage. Single story in a hard rock in the epicenter cannot sustain a. Then Nepal, as I mentioned, these are all Nepal earthquakes because Nepal is in a valley, very thick soil cover, and low energy waves, low seismic waves get amplified and that cause maximum damage. Although Nepal epicenter was far away from this thing, and that was a reverse fault earthquake, but it has caused maximum damage in the Kathmandu Valley. Then you can see in other regions also, not in India, not in Southeast Asia, but the point is, in other regions, the casualties are very, very, very low. But in Southeast Asia, casualties are very, very high. So this is important to understand why the casualties are very high. You can see again, this is the one of the buildings. You know, normally we have lifts in our houses, or we have H-shaped or L-shaped structures. Engineers, if someone is sitting over here, he must have given a thought. What does earthquake can do when a wave travels in this fashion in H-shaped or L-shaped buildings? So if it doesn't have isolations or if it doesn't have shear waves protection at the ground, these buildings can't survive. Then we have, these are the adobe houses which are caused damage because of the epicenter region, within the epicenter regions and on the loose soil. Then earthquake resistance, if you give the seismic design, now look at this, we are giving the seismic design. We make the pillars and then we say we are safe. And we then put in fill walls and construct our house. And most of the houses are constructed within 1 or 2 years, and then we see now we are very happy. But we forget that within 2 years, even the settlement is not proper. After 2 years, you will start watching the cracks in the buildings. And secondly, when you have infill walls, any earthquake having a duration more than 30 seconds will fall down during an earthquake, and then pillar will collapse. So your pillars should be tied with the infill walls. If not, then these are two structures. This is some different and infill are different. So you have either can have a base isolation. Most of the heavy structures are having a base isolation. In India, I don't have seen much isolation structure. But when I went to Macedonia long back, they had an only 5.1 magnitude earthquake, but all the major structures have been base isolated. And that is the major protection. How we can protect? We are not protecting. We are talking a lot because when we talk, even the administration don't sit over here because we are unable to pass on the knowledge to them because it is important. Yes, only 2 minutes. It is important to understand the ferocity of the event. If we don't, it is very difficult to prepare a disaster management plan even the district level. These are the some of the landslides on this Kalka road. And I propose that some of the student, Professor Satish Bhardwaj is over here, I think he's here. So you can include some of the students. Bee geologist will be ready to party, and you can submit a wonderful project to the ministry to get this remedial measures and to protect these landslides. I am inviting you all next year, 8th to 10th November. I am holding a very big workshop at Dharamshala where 500 geologists are coming. So probably we will be, because that has been meant only for this purpose, that we will be able to resolve some of the major issues of the Himachal regions. So all senior experts and junior geologists will be attending those. So all of you are invited. The circular will be very soon on the CUHB Himachal, cuhimachal.ac.in website. So most of you are invited over there. Thank you.